Good morning, Americans. This is your private alien and Bubba here on the morning of Saturday, June 6th, 2020. It's been 76 years since D-Day. And there's a special D-Day here for you guys. It's between the racists, black, white, yellow, red, cut on by George Floyd. And I wanted to do a special editorial today on Martin Luther King and his dream, which you African Americans have forgotten about it. Half of you don't even understand what he meant. The only person I know that could understand it is Andrew Young, and he's not talking. But anyway, this is a two-parter, so here's part one. Martin Luther King in 1963 went to Washington, D.C. and did I Have a Dream speech, which a lot of people attended. That sent alarm bells, not only to the whites, but the blacks. Because he was eliminated the thing they loved most, hate and antagonism towards each other. You couldn't live without that. Can you live without that, black, if you get eliminated? Really? Can you? Honestly? Mr. Louis Farrakhan couldn't live without it, and neither could Malcolm X. It cost Malcolm X his life. And Louis Farrakhan kept on fanning the flames for the next 50 years or so. And here's the problem. Like everything else, there's no such thing as a perfect speech, and there's no such thing as a perfect society. And like Mr. King said on his speech, 5 scores ago, a man wrote the Emancipation Proclamation, speaking of Abraham Lincoln. And sure enough, 100 years earlier, in 1863, on January, President Lincoln did that. But the problem was, you could do a piece of paper, it doesn't mean a thing, and it proved that the Emancipation Proclamation didn't mean a thing. Then the war ended in 1865, and the radical Republicans, trying to do something because President Lincoln was shot shortly after the war ended in April of 1865, and therefore we never knew what he meant by preserving the Union. Was it going to be the old Union, or did he want to create a new Union and preserve what he had, for the most part, from the old? But the problem is, both he and Martin Luther King didn't know that the system was flawed to begin with. The only one that knew that was Thomas Jefferson. When Madison gave him a copy of the Constitution once it was adopted, he said, well, half a loaf is better than no loaf at all. And Mr. King wanted to have a monocolored society, which is what we preached in my civilization. It's strange to see a human that wanted that, and he got absolutely no lip service at all. Isn't that terrible? Not even from his kids. I've heard both Martin King III and Bernice King being interviewed by CNN, and they don't understand their father at all. Really. Now, Mr. King, he should have known, and Mr. Andrew Young can come up and say it to the people. His speech was flawed. He was not perfect. He tried. I would give his speech a 98% yay. But his speech was flawed for 2 reasons. The Constitution and the Declaration of Independence says that all men are created equal. They are not. No being in the universe, whether you're a human being, a dolphin, a lion, an elephant, or even an ant, is created equal. But nature gave them guarantees. And if you look at nature, you'll see that there's guarantees there. And they have a certain guarantee to fulfill their lives. They may not be top dog. Some of them will be bottoms, and some of them will be middle. But if you notice, the elephant tribes the elephant herds, the pride in the lions, keep the society the way it is. And they don't make no distinctions between you and the lower side or that. But you have renegades, same as you do in a human society. And this is what both Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King forgot. And also, you Christians who value your Bible. In the Bible, it says God created us in his own image. Yes, he didn't create us equal in his image, did he? No. He created us to look like him. But are we equal to him? Hell no. And this is what you got to understand. My society, when we left my ancestral planet, had to deal with this. Like I said, 25 people started it, 500,000 left. And 14 billion perished because they couldn't deal with it. And this is the problem with you Americans, especially African Americans and whites. But all of you, whether you're Asians, Latins, or whatever, he, she, he's, or what's it, you didn't take this into account. And therefore, you're sitting on the precipice today because of George Floyd. I'll do my second part later today. This is your favorite alien, and bye-bye. Good day.